The echo of her scream wasn't something I meant to carry, but it wove itself into my mind the same way treachery buries itself in a man who realizes far too late what his family truly is. The instant her eyes landed on me behind that polished glass desk, my name carved neatly into the metal plate, her voice splintered like a snapped branch. My brother went stiff. His fingers slipped from hers. And in that sharp, breath-stealing pause, he finally understood why the new managing partner had summoned him. He just hadn't expected the partner to be me. But to understand how they ended up standing in front of me, facing the fallout of their own pride, we have to rewind. I was the older sibling who took every hit meant for him. Schoolwork, bullies, overdue payments, heartbreaks. I patched every crack in his life. I carried him like he might shatter. Even when he married her, the woman my instincts warned me about, I supported him. He called her clever. I said she was calculating. He smiled like I didn't know anything. I should have recognized then that people with shallow roots survive by stepping on someone else. It started quietly. He stopped answering my calls. She dismissed every word I said with a dramatic roll of her eyes. Family gatherings became stage performances where I was only present to fill a chair. Then came the message. He didn't even send it privately. Don't come to the weekend barbecue. My wife says you'll ruin the mood. My parents hit like as if it were some playful joke. But there was no joke. He meant it, and she enjoyed sending it. I stared at my screen for a long time. I felt nothing. No anger. No heat. Just truth. Understood. That single word was enough. Because by then, I already knew something they didn't. The ground they stood on was one I had built. While they busied themselves with mockery and petty cruelty, the board at our firm was reviewing leadership potential, performance, and long-term stability. My brother had been drifting for years, sinking under a pile of minor failures I had quietly fixed over and over. I never complained. I wanted him to stand on his own. Then an HR friend slipped me something unexpected. His wife had urged him to try to get me removed. Said I was outdated, boring, unfit to lead. He wanted my role. She wanted to see me fall. That was the moment something inside me shut off, and something colder turned on. I didn't respond. I didn't warn him. I simply gathered evidence. Let the facts speak louder than my loyalty ever had. I assembled a report so precise, so damning in its honesty, that the board barely needed to vote. They all agreed immediately. I became managing partner. I didn't fire him. Not yet. Some consequences are better served slowly. My new position came with access. I reviewed everything tied to him. Missed deadlines, unhappy clients, money inconsistencies. Not criminal, but enough to drag him down. Still, I didn't end his job. I did something worse. I reassigned every client he had, demoted him to a temporary transition role, cut his salary in half, froze his benefits. His wife exploded on social media about how office politics were destroying good people. She didn't realize the politics wore my signature. They demanded a meeting with the managing partner. They never thought it was me. When my assistant walked them into the office, they came in irritated, not afraid. Then she saw my face. Her skin turned chalk white. She grabbed his arm like it could save her. My brother whispered, "You?" As if I owed him something. I leaned back in my chair. "You asked for this meeting. I assumed you want to discuss the results of your work." He swallowed. I didn't know you were in charge." I nodded. "Yes, that has always been your problem." His wife stepped forward, voice trembling with anger. "This is personal." "It turned personal," I replied, "the moment you encouraged him to take my place." She froze. He stared at the floor. I pushed a letter toward them. "Effective immediately. You'll receive a basic severance. HR will be here in 5 minutes." He finally lifted his eyes, glistening with regret I hadn't seen in a long time. "Why? Why are you doing this?" A small, genuine smile found its way onto my face. "Because you told me not to come to a barbecue. And I listened." They left trembling, her furious, him empty. For the first time, I didn't feel like I'd cut out a piece of my family. I felt like I had let go of a burden I should have dropped years ago. Family isn't supposed to be a cage. Betrayal simply shows you which doors need to be locked forever. And when they walked out and the door clicked shut behind them, I finally exhaled a breath I've been holding for far too long. Justice doesn't always shout. Sometimes it signs a paper, folds its hands, and watches the guilty walk themselves out.